Welcome to Alios, a land of magic and fantasy not too unlike many others I'm sure you've heard of. We've got everything from elves to ever-burning torches, from humans to half-witted adventurers, from dwarves to, yes, Dungeons and Dragons. I won't lie to you, Alios is conventional in many places, but outside the box in many others. And one of the biggest places that box has breached is in the three people sitting before me. You see, this is not my story. I might provide the canvas, but I'm not the one brush in hand filling it with color. So let me introduce you to those who will. First, Micah, or as the land of Alios knows him, Renestier, a half-vampire lizard man who, oddly enough, strongly believes in second chances. Hailing from an order of half-vampires, he has been set on a path to rid the world of corruption. What that means to and for him, well, only time will tell. Second, we have Aaron, or as the land of Alios knows him, Phosphorus, a crazed alchemist rat man who views science as the world's greatest asset and magic as its greatest crutch. An outcast amongst his people, he's fled his home in the hopes of furthering his knowledge. However, Phosphorus isn't known to keep a low profile, and the shadows of his past could be waiting around any corner. Finally, we have Taylor, or as the land of Alios knows him, Eamon. Half human, half dark elf, Eamon has spent much of his life on the fringes of acceptance, never truly belonging to any one culture, place, or people. His magic manifested at an early age, but after the death of his parents and the loss of his mentor, he locked it away. After years spent bottled, Eamon's magic refuses to be trapped any longer, whether he likes it or not. So, there you have it. 3 souls with the power to truly change Alios. They might come to be known by different names, shed their skin for a new one, or even be joined by more souls along the way, but for right now, none of that matters. What matters is where the 3 of you find yourself on the dawn of the 4th day of the first week of Deep Drift. Deep Drift is the 2nd month of autumn and the 11th month of the year, so normally you'll be looking forward to a day of cool breezes as Mother Nature fully sheds the sweltering cocoon of summer. That is, if you weren't in the Ekoi rainforest. Throgner Mountains to its east and the Dreadstorm Coast to its west, much of the rainforest remains unexplored and untamed. Rain falls year-round, and even in the dead of winter, temperatures rarely drop below 60 degrees. The flora and fauna are unforgiving, with trees reaching hundreds of feet into the air and predators and plants alike posing a threat. Thus, it's home to only one settlement, the town of Koi. With neighborhoods built in canopies, farming fields that take advantage of the region's rain-soaked climate, and a massive water collection network built atop the highest trees, Koi has managed to carve itself a place here. Belonging to New Ronku, and with the Wakata River cutting directly through town, it also serves as an important through line for the nation and the dwarven holds to the southeast. Most goods are transported by long strings of boats called locomotes, bolted together in lines not too unlike train cars. The moral of the story is, Koi is a city thriving in a hostile environment. Or at least, it used to be. Recent trouble with a gang of river bandits stealing from the locomotes, and humanoid creatures made of bark attacking everything from guards to caravans outside the city walls has put the city in a tough spot, and put many of its residents on bed rest in the clinic, which just so happens to be where we find one of those 3 souls I mentioned earlier. One of the few buildings made of stone, the clinic sits in the center of town on the jungle floor. It is here we find Eamon, finally stirring after a long rest. Eamon.
Yes.
You awake in bed.
Okay.
Clean, warm, comfortable. Blurry-eyed, you begin to take in your surroundings. Light filters in through a window directly above and behind your head. A blue curtain hangs to your right, wrapping around the bed and taking a 90-degree turn until it stops at a gray stone wall. To your left, a desk made of red wood has a handful of alchemical ingredients strewn about on it. Next to your bed, all of your things lay perfectly organized. You feel clean. The faint smell of elixirs, herbs, and chemicals wafts past your nose as you look down at yourself. Your right forearm is wrapped with gauze, and the itchy throat you had before is gone. If you would like to describe what you look like, please.
Yes, absolutely. I probably look pretty happy in comparison to last I was awake. I'm a male half-elf. Probably look like a young adult age. Average height and slim build. As you said earlier, half dark elf, half drow. You'd be able to tell this due to my gold eyes, pale blue skin, and mid-length gray hair.
Half human, half drow.
Half human, half drow.
You said half dark elf, half drow.
Half dark elf, half drow.
Which is the same thing.
Either or.
Yes.
Normally, if I weren't, I'm guessing in this sort of hospital garb, I'm wearing a sort of dark hooded poncho and a backpack. I typically have a shield in one hand and a light mace hanging at my hip. If you were to see me around on even a typical day, I usually seem a little exhausted and a little bit on edge.
Somewhere, Eamon, past the curtain, you hear the sound of a pained moan.
That was not pained.
It was a little sexual. I didn't mean it to be.
I feel like I've heard this before.
Followed by words of reassurance. Oh, quit your moaning. He didn't hit your head that hard. Footsteps follow, quick and light. The curtain is pulled back by a pristine hand, fingernails kept trim, revealing a very short woman. Her chestnut brown hair braided perfectly into a bun, with eyebrows that reach far past the sides of her face. She wears a belt with many scalpels, vials, and other contraptions affixed to it. Ah, finally awake, I see.
Hi, yes, where am I?
Oh, you're in the clinic. Here, sit down.
Okay.
She comes over to you.
Okay.
And motions for you to give her your wrapped forearm.
Okay. Am I sort of like, just for visuals here, am I sort of in like a hospital type garb, just like basic clothes?
You are basically just in undergarments.
Okay.
So like long johns and a basic shirt maybe. But you're not like naked, or you're not in just tidy whities.
Nice and uncomfortable. She wants me to reach out my arm.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You see she grabs a stool. She's very short, maybe like 2.5 feet tall.
Okay.
Puts it by the bed and gets up on it. And she unwraps her arm. And you see that kind of running from your thumb down to where your elbow pit, we'll call it, meets, there's like splotches of bruises. And she says, it's healing good. You had a bruised radius.
A bruised... Okay. Where did you find me? Was I brought in here by someone?
I'm sorry.
Was it a very small green person with like propeller type things on its head, perhaps?
What?
Never mind. Tell me how you found me.
She quickly takes out a notepad and she mumbles to herself. And you just catch possible head injuries. Maybe I didn't think he had gone cuckoo to any degree, but
start to think everything that's happened to me has been a dream.
And she says, no small green people. Just the farmers found you.
Oh.
You were south of the South Field.
Okay.
Or South Fields.
Yeah.
Do you know how you got there?
I was in a field, you said?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Well, south of the fields, but...
Yeah. Last I remember, I was actually... Yeah, I was going unconscious. I was being attacked by some frog-like people. I was...
I'll have to warn Econ about that. That's fair.
I was lost in the jungle, and I was trying to make my way to the closest town. I guess I was kind of on the right track, but not before the jungle, as you might have seen, kind of got the best of me.
We didn't find any frog people by you, but it did find you unconscious, so that leads up, and you made it, I guess. You've been asleep for a while, though. Okay. Good 3-4 days.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's your name?
My name's Fionn.
I reach out and I like...
She
shake
shakes
her hand
with her very small hand.
I'm like, well, thank you very much for your care. Is there any way I can compensate you at all? I don't have much, but...
Probably. Real quick, though. Where are you from? I don't mean this in like a rude way, but you are of dark elf descent to some degree. Are you from the mountains?
Not from the mountains. I grew up in the Anarchic Expanse, if you know where that is. Kind of on the other side of the map.
Okay.
A little town called Bluefield.
Relatives, people here that know you?
No, I'm here by myself. Yeah.
Okay, what about this small green thing?
Yeah, his name... You're going to think I'm crazy. I promise I'm not. He said his name was Nee. I'm not sure how to spell it. It was more of a noise than it was... Neen.
DM correct you. How dare you?
Sorry.
No, it's good. That was like a week ago that you.
The way he made the noise, it just kind of, yeah. But anyway, yeah. I'm not quite sure what his name was. That's kind of all he spoke. He was a very small, plant-like creature. I know it might sound crazy, but that isn't really that all uncommon if magic is involved somewhere, especially in like a wooded, jungle-like area.
I don't know a lot about magic, but good with medicine.
Yeah, I can see.
So you,
thank you very much.
Is it okay?
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get my bearings.
Okay. You've been asleep for a while. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna do the exam I normally do on you while you were unconscious. I got to do it now, just normally.
Sure. Yeah.
And she begins to go
Is it
about.
Hurt?
No.
Okay. Thanks. Cool.
And she just goes about basically doing kind of what she did to your arm, but everywhere. She checks everywhere. You notice she kind of lingers around your head, looking for any bumps or points of interest. That would spark her interest.
This loony elf.
Renisteer and Phosphorus. I'm sorry. Not you guys yet. But very soon. So as she's doing this, you hear 3 pairs of footsteps approach.
Okay.
And a human man with a shaved head kind of does a weird little knock on the curtain where it just like slaps. And then puts it open and puts his head in. And he says, Madam Fionn, we got a couple people here to see you. Said it couldn't wait. And she goes, okay, are they with you? And then he pulls back the curtain. And why don't you two describe yourselves?
I'm about a 6'3" lizard man.
This is Renisteer.
Yes. Oh, sorry.
I'm just specifying it. The intro put it, but yeah.
Yes. All right. This is Renisteer. I am a 6'3" lizard folk. My scales are very worn. Color-wise, a pale green. Eyes very cloudy white, with just the lines of 2 black pupils.
Mm-hmm.
Armor looks like a series of bones woven together with ebony. And then I have the emblem of my god around my neck, Tezetzios, which is 2 silver wings, as well as on my shield. It has those same wings, but a scale in between them. And I hold myself in a manner that is of one trying to hold a respectable sort of air about him.
And the other side of the coin.
In complete opposite to Renisteer, Phosphorus stands about 3.5 feet tall. He is a rat folk. His fur kind of changes the farther it gets to the back. In the front, it's very dark, almost black. Goes to gray and then almost white at the back. None of this is natural fur color. This all depends on soot or explosive powder. He has a very thick coat with 2 bandoliers crisscrossing it. All of it chemical burns and actual burns kind of across all of it.
Oops, sorry.
It's all good. He's got red eyes, and he has a very paranoid look about himself, always looking over his shoulder, always looking around. Bit of a almost crazy gleam in his eye.
Yes. So,
get me out of here.
You and Fionn and see this as the curtain is pulled back by this man. He gives a quick bow to Fionn as she motions with his hand for him to run off. Kind of hops down from her stool, walks a little closer.
Are you the one they call Fionn?
Yeah.
I have a message for you from my... It's from my order, correct?
It's from Lark specifically, yeah.
Okay. It is from my order.
Okay.
Hand it to her.
She looks at it and she sees the stamp, which is a emblem, which she opens, and she pulls out just a normal piece of parchment. All of you can see it doesn't have a whole lot of writing on it. It's a full paper-sized piece of parchment, but it's only maybe a third full. And her eyes just scan it quick, and then she looks up at you for a moment and squints a bit and gives you an up and down. And then she goes,
I just sort of adjust myself.
Okay. Both of you?
He is my Traveling companion.
Okay, but not a part of the order.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No. No.
I ask only because if I needed to treat you, obviously those in the order,
The less said, the better.
for sure.
As this happens, can I like be trying to like kind of sneakily reaching and seeing if I can get my light mace in my hand, or at least like getting towards my stuff?
Absolutely.
This is really kind of freaking me out.
Yeah.
Unless like, do I recognize the symbol on him at all as like anything I would be familiar with, or a god, like a common god or anything like that? Because if it would give me an air of like, oh, those guys are awesome, I probably wouldn't be super worried about it.
How old did you say you were, Taylor?
I'm probably like mid-20s.
Okay, cool.
You know exactly what that symbol is. It is the symbol both on his shield and on his chest is the symbol of Tezetios, as he said in his description. But you know Tezetios is a divine. Divines in this world have kind of like demigods under them called chosen. Tezetios is a divine. He basically is the divine of just pure heart and soul. He stands for anti-corruption and is said to be the one being that is incorruptible, uncorruptible. He also takes the form and is a dragon, metallic dragon.
Do I notice him reaching his mace for his mace?
Still makes me nervous. Not as nervous.
So do you
I
still reach for the
probably
mace?
would not reach for it if I saw that he had the symbol of like
It
an overall
definitely is
good
a
god.
yes, yeah, good thing. No symbols on the rat folk though.
That makes me nervous. Have I ever seen a rat folk before?
Probably.
Okay.
Because you spent a long time on a ship and you went to a lot of different ports.
Yeah.
One of which on the stop is the rat folk home capital
Okay,
city.
cool.
So
Yeah.
you actually, yes, you have absolutely
Okay.
seen rat folk before.
So
they don't
the
normally look
descriptions
like
definitely
that.
freak
I look
me out.
just like
yes.
him.
Okay, we're good.
But yeah.
Never mind then.
She says, well, good to meet you too. And she sends a hand for you.
I give a firm shake.
You're probably the only one that is just a normal-ish handshake
Yeah.
because, you know, you're not the same size but similar size. And she says, yeah, I can put you two to work right away. Amen.
Yeah.
We got
I
now.
can just be on my way if you like. I start to like sit up and scoot towards the edge of the bed.
Hold on a sec. She says, times are a bit tough.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
Clearly. Technically, you're about 4 gold and 5 silver pieces in debt. I looked at your things because I was
Yeah.
trying to find identification of any kind.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like you got it on you.
No.
So,
I have skills I can sell you.
that's what I was hoping for. You two, Renisteer and what is your name? She says.
Phosphorus.
Okay, your name wasn't in the letter. If you could escort him to, there's a patch of iridescent heliconias.
Do I know what those are?
Viridescent heliconias. There we go. Viridescent heliconias. I use them a lot in my elixirs and healing potents. None of you seem to be from here. Koi's having a bit of a bandit in lifelike plant come to life thing, whatever. I don't know. I don't go out of the city much for that very reason. But
Did it look like a tree?
the wrong person to talk to. I don't know. I haven't technically seen them. But anyways, healing supplies are very short. So it would be a great help. And even if you don't technically give me that much amount of supplies, I'll foot the bill for you.
I really need to go with traveling companions who are better with money management.
My money management is great.
I'll pay the rest of you.
Deal.
Unless
Can I have a second to change real quick?
Yes.
I sort of like slip out of bed and begin to like kind of look
She
at you
ushers
two
you
while you're
guys
like
out.
while I'm putting on my pants.
So that she shuts the door so you can just change. You suit up.
I suit up.
You clothe up.
I put my poncho on
Yeah.
essentially and grab my things. Is anything like missing from it at all?
No, everything is there.
Okay.
If I
will
assume
kill.
you would, huh?
I will kill.
Well,
You will try.
Jesus. Yeah, everything that you would be looking for would be there.
Okay, cool.
Just get my pack
If you
and
quickly
my
check everything.
shield and a little mace on my
As
side.
he does that, she motions for you two to follow her for a sec. And you guys are basically, there are a long, you're in basically a big hospital ward section. So there is like a bunch of these, maybe 6 or 7 on either side, on either wall of these like curtained off areas. All of, most of them are open, but there's about 4 or 5 that are closed.
I'm going to, as we turn to follow her, turn to Phosphorus and go, if I find out that there is any supplies missing from this hospital, it is going directly onto your payment towards me.
Okay.
What if it's actually not my fault?
Still counts.
Well, she takes you, Eamon's cubicle, so to speak, or bed, was the end right up against the wall. And there is a little hallway and a door, which she comes to, and she pulls out a key ring, and she clicks it open and opens the door. And she goes in, and you see her rummage through some things. And then she motions for you, Renisteer, to come in. And she points to what is basically what looks like a just like wrapped up leather thing with straps for like a backpack with something tied around it, with like a strip of leather tied around it to keep it taut. And she hands it to you, and she says, "This is a rain catcher.
Rain catcher.
You'll need it to. You'll probably be spending a night out there, so you'll need it to fill up your canteens in the morning.
My thanks.
Just set it out at night. It almost never doesn't rain, so even if it doesn't, you should be make it back before you have any real issues on dehydration. But
I appreciate it.
and then she quickly just opens a crate and takes out this wood-handled, thick and about the length of a dagger, curved blade, and she hands it to you. She says, "This will help with getting the buds off."
Thank you.
I do need both of them back when you get back.
Certainly.
Okay, do I kind of get dressed and like just follow them?
As she steps out, you guys all kind of like meet up. You dressed, you guys with those things.
I'm just gonna like eyeball him up and down and
Okay.
like sort of like give a little like sniff towards him. Like I lean in towards him as well, doing that.
Okay.
Just give him a sniff.
I'm just like,
Boy, what is your capabilities?
My name is Eamon. It's nice to meet you. I hold up my hand.
I shake. Are you good at shaking? Is that your capabilities?
That is part of it. I have all kinds of capabilities. If we find ourselves aboard a sea vessel by chance, I could navigate us to safe waters.
I do not believe that will be part of the mission.
I'm pretty nasty with this mace here. I
Should hope so.
hold out my light mace a little bit. And it's like I am also not quite like the kind of woman back there, but I do have some medical supplies, and I can help out treating wounds and such. What about you? What are your capabilities? I can probably assume they're fairly combat
My
based.
strength of will and my iron determination.
She says, that's really admirable of you, Renisteer. She says, kind of taking a motherly tone. If you could, I'll point you in the direction of the general store. As she kind of like starts to usher you guys out into the lobby.
Let me tell you about my order.
There's a couple of things you should pick up. Rain hats, keep your eyes and heads clean from the rain. We have this stuff called Slicker's Sap that'll waterproof any cloth or anything. And then conventional light really doesn't work here in terms of like fire. So we have these things called flash beetle lanterns. If you feed them some of the amber jam we grow here on some of the trees, they'll light up for you.
I probably, as a lizard folk, like this climate probably suits me pretty fine, right?
Yes. In terms of,
Like,
I mean, you don't really get wet, yeah.
right, that's
because
right.
you have
the
you
rain,
have scales,
like,
yeah.
is
It
kind
is
of
worth
just-
noting that you would have cloth under your like chainmail
yeah.
because you don't. Nobody
Lizards still
even
stank.
scales or not. You're not wearing just chainmail on
Right.
whatever. But she kind of like pushes you out, saying that as you guys were like clearly getting to know each other in the middle of the hospital ward. So she's just like, they can do this on the way. I have things to do, and you guys go out.
The minute we get out on the street, I just want to find like a place that has no one around.
Okay.
Eamon, if you need money, I could absolutely loan you with some interest.
No, you can't. Any money that you can give him, you should give to me.
I'm fairly capable of earning my own money, good Sir Rat, but thank you.
I am glad to hear that makes one of you.
So I will tell you this. When you exit the clinic, literally right in front of you is the general store.
Okay. I
Which you told you to
I
go.
literally just want to find like an alley for like a brief second.
Okay.
Is there like an
He's
alley?
going to
or
bug you.
something?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm just saying
Is he
it
taking
would
me
be
with?
it would be very are you bringing the whole group?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
I'm taking him specifically.
So yeah, you walk out and you see a big building with wood carved in it. It's stone as well. It says general store. And Renestier just turns left.
Follow.
I'm okay. I don't. What? Where are we going?
Really showing your people skills.
Are we heading to the general store?
Who
Or are
said
we,
they had people skills? We will in a moment. I need to ask you something.
Just follow the big scary lizard into the alley.
can I just try to like get a vibe check on him real quick?
Yeah,
just to kind of.
I assume you're not meaning him harm. In
No,
this,
I
right?
just have
Yeah.
no charisma. In that
yeah,
regard.
This is true. Yes.
Can I just try to get a general read on him? And also this, I haven't really talked to Phosphorus much, but I just kind of want to keep them both in front of me.
Yeah, that's very. Yeah. So you give
Okay, so
him
I'm
a
just about
quick
to get
once
jumped
over.
and sent back to the hospital.
You give him a quick once over. Neither of them are alarming any of the like fight or flight instincts. It's basically you get exactly what Micah just said of like these are two people that don't socializing is A, not a strong suit, and B, not a priority. So they probably don't mean you any ill will or any harm. They just don't. They just like are a little rough around the edges. I mean, in this exact moment, I mean. You're not about like to chuck a bomb right at his face currently.
Okay.
So that's kind of the vibe
yeah,
you
sure.
get.
You guys go ahead. I'll follow.
Okay. I just sort of strut in there.
Yeah. So I mean,
Keeping
you
a
would just you can just
side
go
eye at
right
him.
on the side of the clinic. Give you a quick rundown of what the city looks like. On the kind of jungle floor, there isn't a bunch. There is a north gate, a west gate, and a southern gate. The whole city is surrounded by like a 20-foot wooden wall, and there are 4 massive trees, one on the right side of the river, 3 on the left side, that if you look up at them, they're always visible pretty much. You can see that there are tons of buildings like built into them, and each of them has multiple kind of pulley elevators of people going up and down every so often. Other than that, there are buildings on the jungle floor. Most of them are just like basic wood buildings, and they normally are some sort of shop or place where you would get work or do work. And it looks like most of the buildings in the trees are places where people would live.
So we are on the jungle floor now. currently.
Yes, you were just
Yeah.
on the ground floor. It's
Cool.
not like jungle floor, like there's no undergrowth
Yeah,
because you know
yeah.
you're in the middle of the city and stuff. One of you, Eamon, why don't you roll 2 d6s for me to determine the current weather?
Got a 3 and a 5.
So add them together.
8.
Just a normal rain currently, which is a -2 circumstance penalty to perception checks, and anything further than 50 feet away from you is considered concealed.
Sounds good. I
is
follow
everybody-
them
Yeah,
into
so
the
you
alley.
just hug a right.
Yes. And then I will just like, when I see that I'm like out of earshot from anybody just walking by, I'll kind of just like hook both of my like thumb claws into my belt and sort of like eye him up and down one more time before like saying to him, there are many skills in this world. Some are very upfront and blunt, like my mace. Others bring with them a level of scrutiny by others. Do you wield magic?
Why do you ask, my friend?
Power is a very important thing in this world. In this very turbulent world, more than anything, such power must be assessed, especially from somebody in my position, to show that this is not some level of inquiry that will bring harm about you. I will show some trust, present some trust to you And I will like not cast the spell, but sort of like
Do magic.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Sure.
you see that he, you do a quick look around.
Yeah.
Because you are basically in the middle of the city. So sometimes everyone will walk by.
Right.
And he, Eamon, you see him kind of twirl his hand in front of him quickly. And it almost looks like a silver, or platinum.
Yeah, like a platinum woman's
Like
hand.
a platinum woman's hand almost like appears right in the palm sitting on it of his hand and then is whisked away. Ethereal platinum woman's hand.
So we're definitely like alone in this alley, or can I roll to see just in case?
Yeah, absolutely. Every so often, people will like go by the alley, but no one is in it. And because you're kind of in the middle of town, you feel pretty confident that you are drawing basically no attention.
So I sort of like hold my shield out to like cover my other hand. I take my hand off the handle of my mace and I sort of like, whisk my hand out there, kind of like he did too. And you see this sort of like blue electrical, like magic energy sparking in my hand, like
When I-
go back as I.
When I
pull it
see
back.
him do that, I'm just gonna like more cautiously slide my hand towards the flail, and I will just say, "What is it that you use your magic for?"
Well, the skills I'm most proud of are more in the healing department. I have magical abilities that can mend wounds, that can bring back life force, and that's how I mostly intend on using my magic. I'm not going to lie, though. I would rather not use it at all, if I'm being honest. And I would rather, I'm sure you know this, people not know that I can use it. It is, despite my just stunningly great charm and my looks, it is quite dangerous, and to myself and others, and I don't quite want that exposed for the sake of all of us here.
So you would rather harm not come to innocence?
I would rather harm not come to innocence. If that's as far as like my hard morals, I would rather harm not come to innocent people, I suppose. But who can really tell who's innocent, That gets into
That
a
is
deeper
disconcerting.
thing.
Yeah,
But I
who
find-
can tell that?
Like you, sir. People might see you and assume you're a really innocent.
Absolutely.
He is
That's the vibe I try
he
to
is
just
not
pull
innocent,
off
I
there.
assure
Based
you
on
of
those
that.
chemical burns, it seems like you've just been a victim your whole life.
I'm just a scientist, man.
He creates victims, I think. I find this acceptable, but more importantly, it seems as though you do not wish to draw attention to us, which I find also acceptable. Come now, we
you
have a
guys
mission
are
to do.
doing pretty well at that already.
I just already walked away.
I start walking and I sort of like say to Phosphorus as like we're both kind of like walking behind the lizard man, and I say, so what brought you guys to the city, and what brought you to the clinic specifically?
I don't know. He kind of just kidnapped me and he's taking me wherever he goes.
Oh, do you need help? Like,
Maybe.
do I
go-
hear this?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do I need to call someone? Do we
They're
need to
right
go?
behind
I think you should.
I begin to like grab from my mace.
Do
and,
not
like, look
listen
him up
to
and
the
down.
small one. He
Oh,
is in debt to me.
Why don't? Yeah, actually, that's true. Why don't you roll deception?
I start screaming out. No, I'm just kidding.
He didn't actually really kidnap you because that implies that you are going against your will.
Yeah.
So roll deception.
It's a 21.
You think he got kidnapped? Yeah. You trust the words that he said. He kidnapped me.
Yeah.
It is worth noting he doesn't say it very panickedly, but nothing rings any alarm bells.
I mean, this
Nothing
lizard
like
guy literally sniffed me and pulled me to an alley. I don't really know what to believe. And I say, do you need help? Like, do we need to, like, I don't think I can take him. Can you?
Rat, tell the truth or I will double the amount you owe me.
See, look at it. He's just threatened me.
He wants a ransom.
He's holding me hostage with money.
Is that true, good sir?
He's in my debt. I found him partially exploding a building.
It wasn't exploding. It was on fire.
It makes no difference to me. Where I found you was in a jail cell.
Those are
and
two very distinct things.
You would still be in there if it was not for my kindness
is
and
that
generosity.
is
Got a
not true.
jailbird here. A jail rat, you might say.
Yes.
Sorry, I didn't. If that.
That's kind of racist, man.
I don't. Yeah.
A jail rat, he was born, and a jail rat, he will die.
I mean,
Again, it's kind of racist.
Sorry. I thought I had a pass because I was a drow. I don't know.
No, we're two distinctly different races.
You're right. Sorry.
Phosphorus, I have heard many things about your race, and none of them are describe you.
I pull my hood up and I'm like, I'm gonna get out of the rain, and I just kind of like step past you guys.
Okay, yeah. Then I have never met a rat folk with such a lack of self-preservation than you.
Thank you. That is truly touching.
It was not meant to. Never mind. Let's go to the general store.
Yeah, so
I just walk in the shop and like look behind me, like, okay, maybe they're gone.
Yeah, so the general store is it's one of the few buildings that is stone. It's a large stone building. It's much wider than it is deep, or long, I guess you could say. It's got tall swinging wooden doors in front of it. You've entered, but even before you two do, you can like hear the sound of people doing business. As you step through, there's tables and shelves basically filling. It's all just one big room that's just filled with tables and shelves that have everything from food to weapons to equipment. The floor is slick from the rain and the foot traffic, and in the back you can see there's a woman at a kind of wooden desk. She seems to be haggling over a basket of rice. In front of you guys, you see Eamon right as you enter. Someone catches your eye. It's a human man wearing basic but very well-kept clothes. He has a absolutely 10 out of 10 Fu Manchu that extends down to his pecs, and it's matched in length by his long black ponytail. And he comes over to you and says, "Hello there, gentlemen. What can I help you with?" As the rest of you walk in.
Hi. My name's Eamon. I'm new in town, and I seem to notice I'm not very well equipped for this environment. My clothes are getting soaked through. My torches obviously don't stay lit. I heard from someone nearby that you guys have some kind of sap or like beetle lanterns that might be of some help.
Yeah. You're that kid that they found, right? By the field?
I was told I was found by a field. Yeah. How'd you know?
Talk of the town.
I wink. I'm just yeah.
Yeah, I can help
I'm okay
you.
though. Yeah, I was
looking
just
for slicker sap.
Yeah.
Yes.
The slick stuff.
Uh-huh.
Yep. What's your name again?
He looks and realizes that he thought you were a group, but in terms of formation, the vibe is still not really a group.
I'm probably even just like posted up by the door with like my arms folded, just like watching the room.
I'll be right with you, gentlemen. What's you two?
Those are my new friends. They're gonna be traveling with me.
You guys need slicker sap?
Absolutely.
I don't want to speak for them, but they do look a little waterlogged.
Follow me. And he takes you to a table that has basically any assortment of clothing you could want that is already slickered, if you will, and then kind of jars of slicker sap that have varying amounts, and he can explain to you how much you would need depending on what you would want to like cover. He says the most important thing is waterproof shoes, so your feet aren't wet.
Tell me about it.
I only wear like foot pads, right? Like on my clawed feet.
You don't even really wear shoes.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Do I wear shoes?
That's up to you. You don't have to. Normally,
It's just a
they
rat
don't.
folk with some J's on.
Just human feet.
So you're the only one that wears shoes.
Is there someone here I could pay to like put the sap on my clothes for me, or is that something that people normally do on their own? I just don't want to do it wrong. And do you just
Yeah, we can do that for you.
Do you just like
Free of charge.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. I begin to like take off my poncho.
I can even show you how to do it. It's
sure.
very simple.
Yeah, that would be super helpful. I'd like
I would
kick off
probably
my
just
shoes.
watch. Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I got like bog rot or bog feet, whatever it is that really hurts your feet. Stepping in the water too much. Yeah,
Bit tender.
Yeah.
Not in a good way.
Just peeling off like an onion.
Not in a good way.
Nope. Yeah. So how much? Before we start this, how
Just
much?
a poncho?
The poncho.
Shoes.
Let's do my shoes. I mean, like, yeah. I mean, I guess I don't want a wet ass. Let's do pants.
Okay.
Too, if that's all right.
You get bog rot on your ass?
Looking
Do you have any money?
looking at about
I have some money, just not enough to get out of my debt, just like you.
It'll be about 6 silver pieces.
Yeah, I can do that. You have change for a gold?
Sure do. As he pulls out a little pouch that you can see is divided into the different coins, and he gives you 4 silver back.
Cool.
And then he goes, yeah, so it's real simple. You just take it, 2 fingers, and he like swipes it in. It's this translucent but semi-translucent white, kind of just like gooey paste. And he shows you what I do is I just put a big glob on, and then I just spread it until it's even. And then it'll soak in over the course of 30 minutes.
Like butter on toast.
You from around here?
No. We have toast where I'm from too.
God, I miss toast.
The fuck's toast?
I am surprised you do not know this. I would imagine someone of your caliber would only enjoy burnt things.
Do you gentlemen need any?
I will take some enough to cover my undergarments.
Okay, 2 silver.
I probably cover my coat.
Do you have money?
I won money.
Oh, that's
he didn't win money.
You ever have more
he,
than I do.
He was the house, and the house always wins. Yeah, and he says if you're going out anywhere and you don't got him, I would recommend a rice hat. Not a necessity, but it helps keep the rain out of it. Excuse me, sorry. Just had lunch. Helps keep the rain out of the eyes.
Yeah, I'll take one.
Helps me not to blink.
Yeah. So is that a yes or no?
No, I don't need it.
Okay. Because to me that's okay. Do you need a rice hat?
Yeah, I'll get
It's actually a magic item.
I'll get the hat.
Yeah, it actually gives you +8 to all of your saves. Yeah. 3 silver pieces for anyone who wants a
I'm
hat.
just getting it to try to fit in. Yeah, I'll take one.
And it does reduce the circumstance penalty to perception from rain by 1.
Sweet.
Anything else I can do for you? As there's like a little ding as more people come in, and you see him
Are my clothes
halfway
all
in between.
all good?
Yeah, he
Nice.
cover them. He says
Cool.
30 minutes.
Perfect. So, yeah, after hanging out for a half hour or so, I think were there any other supplies you guys would want? I kind of gather you guys over, I guess, not like talking out loud in front of the guy. I'm like, are we sure where we're going or what we're
Yeah, sorry.
Doing exactly?
She would have given you directions. I
To-
just skipped over that.
to where?
So you to the there's basically a grouping of viridescent heliconias.
Yep, I remember those now.
They are about half to 3/4 of a day south of Koi. So you're going to take the south gate out. She told you to look out for, they're basically these bright, deep, bright red. They grow on trees almost like vines, but they kind of come out into a triangular cone shape when they're ripe, so to speak. In the gel inside them, kind of like an aloe-like plant where you like rip it open and it has gel inside is used. It has restorative properties.
And we're supposed to be meeting someone there, or that's where the problem was?
That is where you need to go and just get some of those and bring them back.
Okay,
Knife.
cool.
Yeah, and she gave
Oh, yeah, you have
them
the
a
curved-
harvesting knife, which
curved
that does
blade.
give a +4 circumstance bonus to any checks to harvest them.
Word.
Yes. So anything else you guys need?
I would probably just, once I get my sap, apply it the way that I watched him do it.
You don't have to, but the only other thing she recommended was a flash beetle lantern.
Yes, I also asked about those. A beetle lantern of some kind. How much do those cost?
Those are... The guy won't be helping you, so you can just go look now.
Yeah.
A flash beetle lantern is 8 silver pieces, and then 1 thing of amber jam, which is what lights them up and you feed them, is 3 copper pieces each. And it has a little explanation thing and says it lasts for 4 hours once you feed them.
I mean, yeah, if I need it, I'll take it. I can't see in the dark, so I would love to.
It says even if you don't need it, it recommends feeding them once a day so the beetles don't, die.
Okay, yeah, sure. So that's
'Cause they're still
8
living
silver and
creatures.
3 copper.
Yeah, yes.
See, now I don't have any money.
Spend money to make money.
Oh, this is my lantern.
That's fair.
I am not an economist.
Okay, yeah. So you pick that up while you are... I shouldn't chew ice just in the mic. So you pick that up while you are kind of waiting for your clothes to dry, the sugar sap to kind of sink in. Anything else you guys would like to do in those 30 minutes?
Is there any alchemical things here?
There are pre-made alchemical items, like very basic elixirs and such, but there is no like raw materials of any kind. There is like alchemist kits, but you already have one of those, and none of them seem any like different or better in any important way to you, at least.
Yeah, I'm good.
So as we're just kind of hanging around, I would like to just sort of ask the question back that I was asked. What are some of your guys' like strengths? What do you do? Is this what you do for a living? Just kind of travel town to town and do what tasks come up, or?
I am part of the Order of Icar, which is followers of Tezetsios.
Okay. And you go around just trying to make sure that power is distributed evenly across all citizens?
That's
Are you socialists? What
Are
is
you
it?
a communist?
Are you
we must
communist?
seize the means of production. No,
I don't
No
like
offense
this.
to your accent.
For the record,
comrade.
Phosphorus and Eamon, you have never heard of the Order of Icar.
I'm just kind of like nodding along. Yeah.
More so, it is understood in a world with such an imbalance that there are many people who do not possess such abilities, who cannot defend themselves, who cannot fight back. And in that regard, we ensure that those who are powerful do not use those powers to oppress those without.
Okay. Yeah. And how do you go about enforcing that personally?
Depends on the situation.
I
By
look at his
force.
flail.
If need be, if those who have power do not see reason, they must be brought to justice or brought down from their position. If you are meant to serve people especially, that is personally a very cardinal sin.
And what about you, Phosphorus? What is it you do? I would hate to assume. It seems like something to do with making healing elixirs.
Absolutely. I do make healing elixirs. Thank you.
One of many things.
I use my
Do they tend to
knowledge
blow up in your face sometimes?
Yes, you would definitely see. He has bandoliers across his chest, as he said. There are definitely things that look like
Bandoleros.
they are meant to explode on them.
I use my superior knowledge in alchemy to craft miracles, as it were.
Did you go to college?
Absolutely not. I don't believe in the institution.
Yeah, me neither. Waste
Man.
of time and money and loans.
Absolutely.
But so if you were to fall over,
Oh, completely safe.
say you were to fall over forward,
Completely safe.
but like how?
Because I'm just that good.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
'cause I'm
in a
just that
way,
good.
yeah, it is kind of because you're just that good. You are an alchemist, yes.
Well, that's good to know. Seems to be exactly the skills we need to go cut down this fruit. Cut some fruit.
Don't burn the
It's
trees.
a rainforest. It can't burn.
I don't believe you.
So, well, it looks like my clothes are kind of dried off and ready to go. Should we head out? What time of day is it?
it is mid-morning.
Okay.
Rat, was it not you that said that if you're not doing it right, you're not using enough explosives?
Correct.
Again, I don't trust you.
I'm just not going to use enough explosives to burn down the rainforest. Yet.
Refer back to my previous statement, and I walk out.
Okay, so you guys head to the south gate to exit.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you go, you make your way through town. It is not a far walk to the south gate, like 5 minutes. Because like I said, the size of the town in terms of population is pretty big, but that or decent, but that is mainly because there is minimal stuff on the jungle floor. Any housing is in the big trees.
Is there a general vibe as we're walking through the city, or is it just kind of a hustle and bustle?
In what context? Of the people or of the
like are the people
energy?
just sort of are people just sort of like milling about doing their business, or like they trying to avoid the rain? Like
it doesn't seem like you guys catch a lot of eyes, almost as if that strikes you as a little odd, as you are used to kind of catching eyes. As, literally all of you here would be
I know what you're
in the
talking
region. The general energy is that of a hustle and bustle, but as you kind of look around more, it's there's a lot of stress in the air.
Tell me, Eamon, was it?
Yes. And you?
My name is Renestier.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Tell me, in your travels, which approach did you come to the city?
I came from the Western Seas. Came ashore and then made my way through the rainforest, through the Ecoy rainforest to here. Obviously not like super successfully, but
Certainly, most people who end up successfully aren't found in a hospital bed. But
Yes.
that is neither here nor there. On your approach, did you run into any hostile creatures who resembled sentient trees?
you said tree-like?
Yes.
Actually, yeah. Yeah, I did run into one. It didn't pose much of a problem. I hit it once and it kind of fell apart. But
Impressive.
no, but my traveling partner, you guys, I guess, wouldn't have heard me mention him or her. I'm not sure. I met a creature in the jungle. Seemed to be a native plant-like creature, not hostile like these trees, like these tree folk, but it did seem quite terrified of this thing. And the vibe I did get off of it, I sort of say this part under my breath. As I am a tad familiar with magic and how it works, I have some formal training. These things, I'm not positive, tend to come about when they are, if you will, brought to life by an external power, an external spellcaster. I reach in my pocket and I pull out a stone.
Ah, yes.
It looks basically identical to the stone that you guys got.
We are-
Baseball size, completely smooth ball of gray stone.
I found this stone kind of in its chest, almost where its heart would be. It seemed as if this was imbued with some kind of magic to bring this thing.
Why are you whispering about magic?
Renestier, I said my own name.
Yes.
Phosphorus. Not now.
Are you a practicer? Good sir?
No, I don't practice the lesser knowledge.
There it is.
Well, anyway,
Yes, we ran into a very similar creature, but this is very disconcerting news. It seems as though there must be some nefarious force behind this.
where'd you guys come to town from?
We came from the north side, Moila in particular. We were the muscle for a caravan in exchange for safe passage.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I guess there's a chance we could run into these things.
It sounds like you are capable of taking them down, and, well, I will keep them at bay if I can.
Yeah, like I said, what I had to do that was not something I would prefer to do again. So,
Where is this companion that led you here?
I don't know. He was with me when I went. Like I said, the last thing I remember, I was being attacked, not by the tree folk, but by frog-like folk. And he was my traveling companion. He seemed to be guiding me through the woods. I didn't quite trust him, but it was my only option at the time. Small little nymph-like creature. I don't know where.
Like mine.
Yes, sort of. It could fly. And
No, he can't. Not yet.
Just wait.
my flying
Level
potion. Yeah, I don't know. I hope it's okay, but I really couldn't tell you.
Oh, it's fine. I just was curious of this creature. Anyway.
Yeah, so all of that conversation kind of happened while you guys made your way through town and then exited through the south gate. There are two guards there. They don't stop you as you go, but they're just kind of standing there. The gate is open, one on each side. Each of them is atop a large, kind of 8-foot-long lizard. They're very spindly yet muscular, the lizards. They are on all fours. They have like a sort of saddle mounted on them that they sit on. And all of the guards, you would have seen them as they go through town too. They have a sort of like poncho. Some are hooded, some are not. That kind of rests, poncho/shawl, and it has all of them have a emblem either on the front, back, or one of the shoulders as it kind of lays. Imagine a shuriken, but just like the points of it, there's no like middle opening. And it is silver. Also, this would be the first time all of you would have seen this. Some of them have guns of some sort. The pistols, some have a longer barreled rifle on their back or something like that. Yep.
Is there a sort of like race that is sort of more prominent than others
Yes.
in this part of the world?
Humans, specifically humans of Asian descent.
Okay, cool. Do they seem to be like waiting for us? Or no,
They're just like
we're just
at the
passing
gate
by.
on
Okay.
watch, yes.
I've never seen, maybe I have, but that still just like astonishes me every time I see someone riding a large lizard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you probably would have never seen it before. I
So-
think that mostly happens here. They look very similar to the lizards that pulled your,
I would
or
probably,
that were on the other carriage. They didn't pull the one that you were on, but yeah.
in the same language I spoke to those, I'd just say, like, "Good day, kin."
But
But it's like,
yeah. So as he leaves, he makes that sound, and both of the lizards that are being ridden on, they both just like snap their heads towards him, and they just like, not in an aggressive or like a fearful way, but they just like watch him as he goes.
Can you talk to those things?
yes. Also, careful with things. They're my kid.
Sorry,
Some are not as developed as myself, but I treat them with respect all the same.
yeah, absolutely.
But yeah,
Kind of a
as
horse
you-
girl myself.
I can see with those
As you
big
guys go
thighs.
south, you pass 6 plots, 3 on each side of the road, very massive graveyards, basically, with everything from large, almost looks like tombs that you could like enter, to just basic headstones. It looks very well kept. There is a black kind of just basic a metal fence around all of them, but other than that, you go off south. It is notable that there are very few people leaving or entering from the south. Most of that happens to the west, where the fields are, the farming fields, or to the north, where and more civilizations are. All of you would be aware that there are basically no civilizations to be aware of south of Koi. But yeah, off you go.
Yeah, just kind of want to have my shield at hand. And especially my sort of first experience traversing through the jungle was rather packed with threat and danger. So
Yeah.
I'm just going to kind of keep an eye out as we go, whether it's
Yeah.
like perception or
Absolutely.
whatever it is.
Uh-huh.
Similarly, I will also have my shield out and just have my hand resting near my flail.
You're always ready to go. You're always ready to blow something
Born
up.
ready, born to die.
Absolutely.
You guys probably would notice like my shield and mace and stuff, they're like pretty worn down, like beat up.
Yeah, they don't look well kept or like new in any
Do
degree.
you need me to take a look at those at all?
Are you going to, can you fix them?
Yeah.
I mean, they're not really broken, I guess.
No,
If
never
you have
mind
some
it.
like, I don't know, like
I mean, you
lacquer
could-
on you,
you
finish
could
maybe, use sanding.
Make them look better. But-
If you want to pay me, I will look at them.
I'm okay. This kind of fools people into thinking that I use these a lot. So
Yeah, so as you guys go, Phosphorus and Eamon, you hear movement in the trees.
I throw a bomb.
But you can. And as it's probably been like an hour of walking through the forest. Both of you snap your heads up. You see a group of black-furred monkeys.
Shit,
They're quite small. Some of them no bigger than the leaves that are on the trees. They swing by above, and you two notice one of them kind of break off and come lower into the canopy and kind of keep pace with you guys about 20 feet up.
It appears we have gained the attention of the natives.
yeah, we could. Do they seem hostile at all, or are they just kind of like?
This specific monkey is very small. It's like no bigger than a foot in any dimension.
Does it seem to be watching us?
Yep.
Okay. Can you talk to monkeys too?
Not my speciality.
Okay. Well.
Tell me when he has scales.
Okay. Let's just keep moving then. I guess.
Yes, keep an eye on them.
Could you be a spy for tree people?
Oh, absolutely.
I'm not familiar.
Phosphorus. As they're walking, you see in a swift motion, the monkey grabs a vine, kind of swings down, and just snatches one of the bombs
I absolutely let him.
from your kind of bandolier and swings across to another part of the tree. And is like, he just holds it and is like,
It's absolutely an alchemist fire.
okay, word. He has it. And you see the monkey kind of like stops and sits and like tries to like look bigger, and it holds it and goes, "Hoo, hoo, hoo," and then it points to its mouth and like chews.
Yeah,
and then
I'm gonna pull out my alchemist fire. I'm gonna put it in my mouth
okay,
because I can.
yeah,
I'm gonna
you
sit
can
there.
do
I'm
that.
gonna like act like I'm chewing it.
Okay, why don't you roll deception?
Oh
Eat a
no!
bomb.
As he's doing this, I'm like,
14.
I think he just wants some food. Do we have any like?
14.
Yeah.
It looks kind of confused at you. You go, "Huh? Huh?" And it bites into it. Why don't you roll damage for an alchemist fire?
Oh no!
As it
Did you know that Eamon's an environmental activist?
triggers on his face.
I'm
Not anymore.
5 fire damage, 1 persistent fire damage, 1 splash damage.
So 7 total.
Yeah. Well, it's 6 with 1 damage.
Persistent. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So, it bites in this thing, and it like just explodes into fire on its face, and you can see like the whole right side of its face is kind of just like singed and hurt, and it just like, and it just swings off fast.
Dude, not okay.
Hey, it's
Why
not
did
my-
you? Why did you blow up a monkey?
I'll pull out the alchemist fire from my mouth. Not my fault he couldn't eat it.
I don't.
That was cruel, rat.
He stole my bomb.
I sort of point like a kid like tattling on someone, like, "Hey, harming the innocent. That's a thing. Kick his ass. Come on."
How far away was the rat when that happened, or the monkey when that happened?
How far away was it?
Yeah.
It was. It probably went back to being like 20 feet up.
Okay, never mind.
It wasn't super close.
I just stare at him and like give like a disapproving
Oh.
like.
That was dark.
It stole the bomb.
I mean, yeah, that cute little monkey sure did.
I'm assuming it just is out of sight now.
I mean, yeah, it just bolted for sure.
Hey, but if it was a spy for the tree people, you just saved their lives. So
Absolutely, you're welcome.
there's always a silver lining.
I'm gonna try to just see if I can't get the wounded monkey's attention with a ration.
Okay, for sure. Why don't you make a nature check for me?
What's your nature?
Probably not great.
You know, this monkey stole my bomb and tried to sell it back to me for food.
DC 10. If anything, he's a like-minded individual.
Yeah. And now he
You guys
learned his
have much
lesson.
respect
Now
his
the
tenacity.
competition.
And now he learned his lesson.
That's a 19 on the die, so 21.
Okay, yeah, make that a +4 circumstance bonus.
Okay,
That's
so
a +1.
15. Or
15?
sorry, 14.
14? Yeah, you like hold out. It's just a bit of like hard tack, and it as it's swinging, it just like looks back just enough to catch it. Then it like stops and slowly makes its way back as it's holding its like singed, slightly bleeding face.
If it gets in close enough range, I'm just going to lay on hands.
Yeah, it slowly approaches the food and is like,
And I'll just like put it in its hand, and right as it does that, I'll just like touch its face.
okay,
with lay
it
on
kind
hands.
of
That's a really cute
flinches
picture.
and then runs away. But you get the thing off, and you see that same kind of platinum woman's hand before kind of just quickly wave from the top down of the monkey's face, and where it was singed and burnt, it is now like completely healed. And it,
Look at you.
yeah, it's a dumb monkey. It doesn't really clock what happens, so it just kind of bolts off. One might say it doesn't fully realize it's been magically healed or
It
healed
makes
in
no
agreement.
difference to me.
Yeah.
See, Phosphorus, that's helping the innocent.
I taught him a lesson.
Unfortunately, he is not part. No,
I hope you
fortunately, he is
never have
not part of
kids.
my order.
Why would I want kids? Also, I can't really have kids.
Thank God.
Yeah, you got to that age, huh?
Thank Tezetios.
No, I've consumed a lot of chemicals. It was a reaction.
Oh.
I think he's more likely to clone himself than have children.
Correct.
I don't like that you are very confident in that answer. That means it could be a possibility.
Oh, it is a possibility.
I'm going to be back to looking out and keep walking.
Absolutely.
I sort of like pull my rice hat down as the rain sort of like runs off the front of it.
And I just turn to Phosphorus as well. No more blowing up monkeys.
He stole my bomb. It's his fault.
No blowing up monkeys.
Did I throw the bomb?
You know what you did.
What did I do? I taught him a lesson.
Not all of us
He'll
can
be-
store bombs in our mouth, rat.
He will be smarter now that he knows that lesson.
I don't
not too
think he
smart.
will. He's a monkey. He hardly knew his face was healed.
Forward
my
you
fault.
go. It quickly becomes midday. The rain continues. The forest around you remains pretty unrelenting. Eventually, the road kind of ends, and there is a much smaller, kind of maybe 2 people wide, more walking path than like a place someone would have a cart or anything. That kind of veers to the right, which is where Fionn would have told you to take that. That goes to the kind of grouping of the buds. As you start to head down that, another good 2-3 hours of walking on that. Multiple times you catch glimpses of wildlife in the trees and on the ground and such. Nothing that would be like pique any interest or be harmful. Colorful birds, other groupings of monkeys. Every so often, a group of those lizards will like be far off or far up. You just catch one of them like moving through. And yeah, eventually you reach what looks like the grove of heliconias that you were looking for. It's longer than it is wide, about 30 feet wide and 50 feet long, just grouping of trees and heavy undergrowth. There are maybe 15 to 20 smaller 15 to 20 feet tall trees, and you see like vines growing on them, and on those vines are those triangular almost blooms, a deep bright red, which is exactly what Fionn described.
How high up are they, did you say?
I mean, they're right on the trunk of the tree. The trees go up to 15 or 20 feet high, but these heliconias grow from the base up, never going more than like 10 feet.
I'll just sort of like flip the knife up by the blade and like hand it over to Phosphorus. I'm like, you seem to be used to collecting such ingredients.
I'll grab the knife.
I just kind of pulled
You're
it.
not wrong.
Keep watching
I know.
roll.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like to sort of like stand back a bit and just kind of look through the rain, look through the mist, and just kind of see if, I don't know. I mean, if these things are like really valuable, I don't know. Maybe a monkey wants it.
Yeah, as you're kind of fanning out or looking out, why don't all of you roll for initiative? So to help you guys, to set the scene for you, everything in the immediate area of the heliconias is difficult terrain because it's heavy undergrowth. Phosphorus has made maybe 5 feet of progress just like into it, towards one of the trees as you handed him the knife. You are kind of just like looking out at the entrance scanning the horizon, and you had just given it to him. So you're basically right next to Eamon, but
Okay, is he still within 15 feet of me?
absolutely, yes.
Good.
And Eamon, you go first. You just
I have to seek, right, to try to...
Yeah, you are not aware of anything around you, and you just, a kind of like shiver just runs down your spine, and something is wrong.
Does it take an action to say something to my
Nope.
friends? I just say, hey, something's up, and I reach for my shield, and I begin to like look around.
Which direction are you looking? I'll give you 2 directions. Into the grove or the area around the grove?
I would like to sort of turn almost to my left and right, even like behind me a bit, and just kind of look in the area around the grove as opposed to
Yes.
right, because
yes.
right in front of us would be fairly obvious to see something coming at us.
Yes. Yeah, so you take 1 seek action, and you kind of do the quick look around, your ears perk up, and you listen for anything. Nothing.
Just keep an eye out, I guess.
2 more actions.
I would like to raise my shield.
And
And
you can seek again.
yeah, sure.
You know, it's just
I would like to seek again.
As you look about, you raise your shield, and you hear a rustling in the grove.
Like behind me.
Yeah, it's a decent ways away, maybe like 20, 30 feet in the grove. You 2 do not hear this. So this thing is now hidden to you.
What if I tell them? You said I could talk
That
to
is
them?
an action. It's called point out.
Okay,
And you are
cool.
out of actions. That is a
Okay.
specific thing where
So I can talk to them about things like unrelated.
Yes, but for you to
Or-
specifically point and say there is something right there, that is 1 action, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it is now hidden to you, but not
by
to
the
them.
time I sort of hear what's happening, on to the next.
Yes. However, it goes, whatever this is going on, goes next. And since it is hidden and you now know where it is, you see just movement in the undergrowth. It's probably something small. And you guys are just kind of, Phosphorus and Renister, just kind of like doing a quick look around as he just like yelled, something's wrong. And you just take a quick stock of your surroundings. It moves right past Phosphorus. And you see shooting right out of the undergrowth and like jumping at you, this small, maybe 2 feet tall Max. It almost looks like a baby made out of plant matter. And there is a big bulbous head and another big, just bulbous lump on its right neck. And as it lunges at you, you see almost fang-like teeth in its mouth as it like jumps at your leg.
Neen, what happened to you?
Oh no. And as it jumps at you, as it jumps out of its leg, for the record, it is now detected to all of you now because it has no cover whatsoever. You just kind of move your leg out of the way just in time for it to snap at air, and it just goes right again. It misses again. It just quickly turns around and snaps at your leg, and you're just kind of give a good kick in the face, and there it is.
My new
Phosphorus,
sealed boots.
it is your turn.
I throw an alchemist fire.
Okay, absolutely.
As I see that, I'm like, no.
Now.
That is a plus 24 to hit.
Yes, that hits. That absolutely hits.
I was so ready with that ability. So ready.
Uh-huh.
That's 4 fire damage, 1 splash damage, 1 persistent damage, and none of it hits Eamon.
Mm-hmm.
So as this bomb lands between my legs.
Because I'm just that good.
Yes.
I don't know that, so I'm just terrified.
Yeah, you
like,
see a bomb just like
thinking
thrown
the
right
fire
at
has
you.
consumed my legs and burnt my nerves, so I don't feel it. The bog rot's back. Ah,
So, yeah.
my feet are clammy.
Phosphorus, you as you look around and you see this thing jump out at Eamon, you rip off a alchemist fire from your chest and you chuck it. And Eamon, like you say, you instinctively kind of like cower for a second as it perfectly hits this thing right in the face and kind of splashes fire on it and nothing else. And it doesn't seem to be phased out. It is dead locked on you, Eamon.
That is a 17 to hit for another bomb.
Yes.
Okay.
You're using your second attack.
So it was a -1. I rolled 18. That's 4 fire damage, 1 splash damage to 5, and then another thing persistent, which I think just means it adds another round to it.
Yes.
And then my third. I'm just going to move 25 feet away.
Okay, you could
We'll
move
stride.
like 10, 15 because it's difficult terrain.
That's right,
But
yeah.
yeah.
I'm just
you
gonna try to
move
get more
further in.
distance.
Yep, absolutely. So yeah, 2 click off the bandolier, throw. You duck Eamon, and both of them just hit it as it.
I just think
out.
I'm really good at dodging these things.
Yeah, it lets out like a, and it's like a bit of the like bulbous head begins to like is on fire and is like turning to ash. Renister, it is your turn. My sweet, sweet lizard.
I'll just raise my shield.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is like literally right by you.
Yeah, and then I'm going to take a swing at it.
Go for it.
What are you swinging again? Is it a mace?
It's a
Flail.
flail.
Flail. Okay.
So kind of.
Is that
I feel like I've been here before.
Yeah.
17 to hit.
Yes, then hits.
I'm really showcasing my skills here.
Ah!
Yeah.
There it is.
7 damage.
7 damage.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And final.
I'll just try to swing at it again.
Go for it.
9.
No, that's not it. So yeah, Renister kind of flips around facing you in this thing, raises his shield, swings at it twice, one of them connecting right into the side of this little baby plant thing.
This thing is
and
so tough.
Ripping out, and it kind of just dents in. It is not looking good. It looks like it can barely like keep its legs up as it's kind of on all fours weirdly. Eamon, it is your turn.
I'm gonna use a spout.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah,
save.
as I sort of like utter some arcanic type words, and I essentially like shove my open hand towards it, and If it does hit, it'll be this sort of like spout of water that was turning around. It sort of shoots up out of the air.
What kind of save is it?
It is a
Water.
reflex.
Okay. It passes.
Nice. So I just splash it a bit and
So
heal
half
the burns. Okay, no.
Yeah.
Good. So half damage, 1d4 plus
You definitely don't
spellcasting.
heal it. Yeah, it drinks
Dang
it. It's like,
you
oh, thank
water
you.
the plant.
That felt so good. Thank you. Okay, so half of that would be
4.
4.
Yeah.
Not 5, just 4.
Word. Yes. Yeah. So, he does exactly what he says. He like spins a torrent of water that shoots up at it, and it just gets out of the way as its hand is kind of like its little baby plant hand is slapped by it and just like goes a limp by its side. Anything else?
Is it right by me?
Mm-hmm. Right next to you.
Okay, I'm going to use... No, I'm not. I'm going to raise my shield.
Okay. Yeah. So you do this, and then you put up the shield.
Just to like show the party that I can do something. I splashed it a little bit.
I got him.
Did you see that water spin right before it kind of missed?
So,
Crazy around here. What?
It's literally
I
raining.
need Renisteer and Eamon to make a will save as it lets out a just
Does it take another fire damage?
horrible streak. Yes, it does. Yes. Thank you
All
for
right.
reminding me.
21.
18.
This is why I ran away.
Okay. As it lets out the streak, you both succeed, which means you're both sickened 1. As it just like pierces your eardrums, and it, you know, when you kind of have such a loud sign, it almost makes you queasy. And you become sickened 1. If you would like to know what sickened does, you take a status penalty equal to the value on all checks and DCs. You can't willingly ingest anything. You can spend an action attempt a fortitude save against the DC of the sickening effect. On a success, reduce the value by 1. So it will not auto go away unless you try to get rid of it.
Okay.
Just
like piercing our ears. And
yeah, and it's so
blowing out our
loud and in
eardrums.
there it makes you like queasy. Like
Nauseous.
you're about to vomit. And then it's going to try to bite your foot again.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sure doesn't. And another time.
Please don't. This jungle just has it out for me.
It finally does.
No.
Clips of redemption.
Yes, I figured.
Just
Yeah,
sitting
so why
there
don't you
waiting
describe
for
what that
it.
looks like?
So, as it's about to sink its teeth into you, this silvery woman with a blindfold on, holding scales and a sword in hand, comes shooting out of me at the baby.
Out of
and-
you?
Yeah.
Like full size?
Yeah. Like,
Okay.
Mhm.
She's
a
ethereal.
full-sized woman.
She's ethereal in
platinum
nature,
woman.
and then as she comes up to this little plant baby, she lifts up her blindfold and stares it in the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
What does it do?
It's just gonna hit with the resistance and become enfeebled. So already reduced, you take 6 piercing damage. As this thing sinks its teeth into you.
Just
and
like, holy shit, there's a lady.
You see the little, it doesn't really have eyes, but the little like carved slots for eyes. There's almost like a platinum flash of light, and it appears to like shrivel up a bit. And it is enfeebled 1 now,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
Well, that's horrifying. I thought you were the like less scary of
Enfeebled
the
2, actually.
Sweet. Damn, that is really good.
Yep.
Yeah, it feels really good.
Phosphorus, it is your turn.
How far away is the thing from me?
Like 25 feet, 30.
I'll stride. I'll back to my original spot.
Uh-huh.
And I'll throw 2 more bombs.
Go for it.
We'll do one.
We'll do one at a
yeah,
time because it's pretty close.
Should have bought better dice.
No, it died.
15.
15 hits, yes.
It's 8 fire damage.
How would
One
you
split.
like to kill it?
Yeah, I just casually toss the bomb at it, and it just all the fire just hits it.
Yeah.
It just burns it.
So it basically becomes completely consumed in fire, and it lets out a final like as it you can tell that the fire itself isn't doing this, but this is just something is happening beyond just the fire, as basically from the top down it just turns to ash completely.
Oh, What? Have you guys? What was that?
I have no idea. It was terrifying.
What? No, I mean, what was that came out of you?
Oh,
The little thing wasn't that terrifying, really. Kind of bit me like a dog would.
I mean, it was kind of creepy.
It did scream really loud.
it is a gift from Tzatzils.
That doesn't look like a good
You guys are not sickened anymore.
Okay.
So you know.
doesn't look like a good-hearted thing. Is Tzatzil a female?
No, that is the embodiment of justice.
Okay. Anyway,
Our trio of souls have finally taken their first steps within the land of Alios, already well on their way to completing their first heroic deed, albeit with the caveat of repaying debts for at least 2 of them. However, questions remain unanswered. What was that strange bulbous plant baby that attacked Damon? And more importantly, what the fuck was that thing Renistir summoned? Find out all this and more next time on Dying 5. If you enjoyed today's episode, consider leaving us a review on whatever platform you listen on. We'd love to hear your feedback. And if anyone in your life just can't get enough tabletop RPG action, send them our way. If tabletops have taught me anything, it's that good stories become great ones when you have some folks to share them with. And as always, thanks for listening.